Welcome back to another episode of Serena Reads. This week I've been reading this nonfiction novel called The Happiness of Pursuit. This has been inspiring, not to mention extremely interesting read, as this book resonates deeply with me with its theme on quests. And it will be a perfect read for those of you who crave more meaning in life or are just not satisfied with the status quo. So what are quests? Quests are like goals, but they are more than goals. They are more challenging, require sacrifice of some kind, and are often driven by a calling or a sense of mission. And there's a common thread to all of the quests that the author studied in his book, which is the ambition of pursuit and the desire to do whatever it takes to keep going. Let me give you an example of what a quest is. The main example of a quest comes from the author himself. He volunteered in West Africa for 4 years, during which he traveled throughout Africa and Europe. He felt immense excitement and very much alive every time she visited a new country. He was so entranced by the notion of frequent travel that he made a quest for himself. He decided to visit every country in the world over the next 10 years. Every country in the world over 10 years? That seemed grand, if not infeasible for most people. However, what's helpful about this book is it breaks down the whole quest process to different stages of experience, so you not only get insight into how such a grand quest is achieved, but also it tells you what you will go through and what you need to be prepared for if you decide to go on a quest of your own. In the beginning section, the whole quest experience was broken down to the awakening, the great discontent, the calling, and defining moments. And in the journey section, the subcomponents include self-reliance, time and money, life listing forward motion, and joining forces, etc. And in the destination section, the whole experience was broken down to transformation and homecomings. If the sheer number of stages seem alienating, if not daunting to you, I promise you, the whole experience is nothing but daunting. In fact, each step is like a bus picking you up at any stop you choose, and each step was so warmly inviting that you may feel wholeheartedly compelled to get on this bandwagon of a quest at any point. Let me give you a quick synopsis of a few chapters to fill you in on what I'm talking about. Let's talk about the chapter called The Great Discontent. If you frequently find yourself thinking, there must be more to life than this, you're not alone. After Sandy was laid off by General Motors after devoting 12 years of her life there, she didn't immediately hunt for a job. Instead, she stepped back and took a deeper look at her life. She enjoyed her work, but she frequently found herself thinking, there must be more to life than this. She felt she sacrificed something that had always tugged at her heart by working for corporate America, and ventured to experience small town life and do it in a way that would create a lasting memory. So what did she do? She bought a camper and set off on Highway 66. She traveled on the road month on end and took thousands of pictures. Upon returning to her native Canada, she began receiving offers to speak and submitted her photography for major art exhibitions. She even found a job as a tour guide, which allowed her plenty of time to pursue her arts and traveling. There couldn't be a better story than Sandy's illustrating self-reinvention could come in full circle. Now, thinking about our own lives, why do we sometimes catch ourselves admiring or even envying other people's lives, saying to ourselves, how come he or she is living the life? Well, no one's life is perfect, and more often than not, they have had the same conflict you and me have. The discontent you feel, they most likely have felt it too. But just experiencing discontent will not automatically lead to a life of your dreams. You must have an inspiration, a big idea, or something you'd rather do if you quit your current way of living. You must also have the willingness to take actions, and that rounds up all of the necessary elements that will set you on a true adventure. If you found Sandy's example inspiring, there are plenty of other quest stories in this book. There's Laura Decker, a teenager who circumnavigated the globe on a solo voyage in a small sailboat. There's Jia, who as a child was traumatized, being rejected by all of his classmates, and now decides to overcome this trauma by doing a 100 days of rejection therapy by going to fire stations, restaurants, and other businesses with unusual requests. Of course, this book goes in detail on all of the requests, and you may find some of them bizarre, endearing, and inspiring. And there's Sasha Martin, who traveled frequently as a child, but now as a mom who wouldn't be able to provide the same experience for her own child, she decides to cook a different meal from every country to broaden her family's culinary horizon. There are so many other quest stories and characters that are waiting for you to explore, and I'm sure you will relate to at least some of them. Not only is this book an interesting read, but it will most likely inspire you to connect with the part of you that will make you feel truly alive, and hopefully you will find the courage to take actions too. Thank you so much for watching today's Serena Reads. If you liked today's video, or at least you found part of it interesting or inspiring, please click the like button below and subscribe to my channel so you do not miss any future episode of Serena Reads. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.